Hello, in this video I would like to discuss 5 topics. The first topic is PMLVMD Yojana. So this is a scheme. The full form of it is Pradhan Mantri Laghu Vyapari Mandhan Yojana. So this is the full form of the scheme, and this is a national pension scheme that is available nationwide, and that is to provide pension to a set number of people and to set professionals. So the professionals that come under this scheme are traders, usually small traders, and shopkeepers and self-employed persons. So those who are having these small shops, small self-employed works, and small traders are going to come under this PMLVMD Yojana. This was introduced in the year 2019 in the month of July, and the nodal ministry to look after this scheme is Ministry of Labour and Employment. So this is the ministry that is looking after PMLVMD Yojana, and this has got certain features. The age group that fall under 18 to 40 years or getting the benefit of this scheme, they are going to apply for this scheme in this age. So by 18, when a person is between 18 to 40 and is having a small shop or is a small trader or self-employed, he can apply for the scheme. And those traders or those business firms that are having more than 40 lakh per annum of turnover, so those business firms need to submit their GSTIN, that is GST identification number, while they are applying for this particular scheme. So those with more than 40 lakh per year turnover of their business. So GSTIN is given by the states when these business firms get registered under the state. So that is about taxation and all. So this has got a benefit of 3,000 rupees per month. So these people who ever apply, they get 3,000 rupees per month, not immediately, but after 60 years of age. They get the benefits when they complete 60 years of age, though they apply this between 18 to 40 years. So the highest enrollment for this particular scheme is recorded from Uttar Pradesh. So out of 25,000 people that have registered as soon as this scheme has come, 6,000 and odd are from Uttar Pradesh. So this is how the enrollment ratio is. And the next topic is AK-203 assault rifles. So these are a kind of weapons or rifles that Indian Army is going to purchase from Russia. So we are going to get AK-203 assault rifles from Russia. So it entered into a memorandum of understanding to purchase these from Russia. This is not 100% from Russia, but a joint venture between India and Russia. So though the technology is from Russia, we are doing it on a joint venture basis. So for this joint venture, the name is given as Indo-Russian Rifles Private Limited. So this is the name under which this joint venture is taken up. And under this joint venture initiative, India's ownership is up to 50.5%. So this is the part of India's ownership, and 1 lakh of these rifles are going to come directly from Russia, and the remaining are going to be made indigenously in India by Uttar Pradesh. So Indian government in Uttar Pradesh, a town called Korwa. So Korwa in Uttar Pradesh is selected for the making of these AK-203 assault rifles, and before that we are going to get 1 lakh of these rifles from Russia. So this is it. And the third topic is APEDA. So the full form of APEDA is Agricultural and Food Products Exports Development Authority. So for the export of food products and agricultural products from India, we have an authority, that is this APEDA. So APEDA is working under a ministry, that is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this is the apex body for the overall export promotion, for the export promotion of agricultural products and food products from India. So this is the export promoting apex body under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This came up with an act that is called APEDA Act. So APEDA Act 1 was in the year 1985 and APEDA Act 2 was in the year 1986. So in 1986, so this was the year that APEDA, the authority was totally formed. And the headquarters of APEDA are in New Delhi, And in this, the basic work is states prepare their own action plan. That is how to export all the agricultural products they have, all the food products they have, how to export them. Every state will have a unique action plan for their own products. So those action plans will be submitted to APEDA. So this APEDA then looks after the exports of all these states. So this is how this happens. And the fourth topic is MECOS 3 2020. The full form of MECOS is Marine Ecosystems Challenges and Opportunities Symposium. So this is a conference, this is an international symposium that holds meetings for discussing the things of marine ecosystems. As the name says, what are the challenges in marine ecosystems and what opportunities or things we have got to change these challenges into positives. So all such discussion takes place in this Marine Ecosystems Challenges and Opportunities Symposium. So that one, which is held in January 2020, is the third of this kind, is the third one, and it is held in this year in Kochi. Kochi is in Kerala. So this is the place of this convention. And the topics that are discussed in MECOS 3 are climate crisis. So this is a burning issue, and global warming, unusual global warming, especially in Arabian Sea. So why the Arabian Sea waters are unusually getting warmed up. So this is a topic. And ocean acidification, how ocean waters are getting acidified due to pollution or any other thing. So this is one of the discussions that is taken up. And a huge discussion is taken up regarding fisheries. So marine ecosystems is more of fisheries, about fisheries, and the economic benefits we have got from marine ecosystems is mostly fisheries. So how to incorporate green technology in fisheries, that is eco-friendly fishing, that is called eco-friendly fishing. So how to incorporate green technology or eco-friendly technology into fishing. And also eco-labeling. So this is about giving a certificate to how far the practices we adopt for fishing or any other task we take up are eco-friendly. So that is a certificate, biologically eco-friendly available certificate that we give to the practices we do on fisheries or any other marine ecosystem. So eco-labeling, some discussions are taken up in this view also. So this is the basic thing about MECOS 3. Basically this is about marine ecosystems discussion on this. And the last topic for today is NC debentures. So the full form of it is non-convertible debentures. So we'll see what a debenture is. This is a long-term bond issued by a company. So we know companies issue bonds, and they also issue shares. So bonds will be bought by investors. So when investors buy these bonds, the companies are liable to pay interest on these bonds. So the companies will pay interest to the investors who buy these bonds. So that is basic meaning of a debenture. So this is a debt instrument or a financial instrument that is adopted by companies. So when companies need capital, they need huge money at a time, they release these bonds into the market, these debentures into the market. Then investors would come and buy all these debentures, and that's how they get their long-term capital, huge amounts at a time. But they are liable to pay interest after a fixed time period and a fixed interest rate also. So non-convertible, we'll see the meaning of this. They cannot be converted into shares or equities. So sometimes these debentures can be converted into shares or equities later by the investors. When we buy the bond, we can convert them into shares later of that company. But when they cannot be converted into shares, when they must be only in the form of bond, and when company will give us interest, and that's how it ends, then it is called non-convertible debentures, which cannot be converted into shares or equity by the investor. So this is an economics topic. So these are the 5 topics for today, and thank you.